Okay, so hello everyone. Let me know, am I clearly audible to you or not? If you are able to access the chat box, or just give it thumbs up. Okay, I think uh, great. Yes. Okay, so we will start. Let me share my screen first. Okay. Uh, my screen is visible. Okay, great. So first of all, welcome you all. So we are going to start our bootcamp from today. So it will be 5 days bootcamp. We will learning Android development step by step. So yeah, just have a look. So this is our agenda. So basically, firstly we will get idea what we are going to do within these 5 days, and then we will start. Okay. So firstly, introduction, schedule, overview, and what you get. Okay. So why Android? Like you thinking why we should try to develop Android application, why we should choose this opportunity or technology as a our career opportunity or main technology for you. Okay, so basically, as you know, Android is most growing in the industry nowadays, as it is open source, easily available. Anyone can develop any sort of applications and publish it in market easily. So that's why Android is most popular. And what benefits you get if you choose Android? So basically, if you choose Android, you are able to make your own applications, like anything you can make. Just think, and it will be created with the help of your experience or the different types of tools available in the Android Studio itself. Okay, so there are 2 to 3 things necessary for the Android development. So consider there is a native development platform, and another there is cross-platform development. Okay, so basically native development is done on the Android Studio platform itself. The Google developed it, and overall the studio is managed. The dependencies and all the things are managed by Google itself. Okay, and another thing is cross-platform. So there are few technologies like Flutter, React Native. So with the help of these technologies, we can create cross-platform application like iOS also and Android also in same code. But there is some issue. There are some unnecessary conditions or unnecessary things that occurs. So in the actual native platform, you can design and develop your application from zero, or we can say from scratch. Okay, so that's why we are going to completely do our sessions in Android Studio. Okay, so then this is our 5 day schedule. Okay, so at day one, like today, we are going to introduce to the Android Studio as well as setup and overall installation. Okay, so in day two, we are going to see the different components available in Android Studio as well as the design parts. Okay, great. Then on day three, we are handling these components like uh, now suppose we created some sort of GUI or this kind of front end for the user perspective, but we also need to manage this UI in the backend. So now suppose we have created a button, a list, and forms. So how this data can be handled at the background, this can be learned in day three. So in day four, we are going to create a database creation, overall handling of the database with the help of Firebase. So there are different lots of database. Why we choosing Firebase? Because Firebase is easily available and it is a central storage. Also, we can use SQLite, but it stores the data in the its core memory or device memory itself. But if you are building your applications for a client or freelancing any project. So at that time you need a central database. Okay, so for that we are going to use Firebase. So there are different things in Firebase, some of basics and some sort of all types of setup we needed in Android Studio. That is done on day 4. And the last day, that is day 5, we are building a simple application, as well as we are deploying the application on Play Store. Okay, so at the end of day 5 you will get the basic idea what are the different components, what is Android Studio, how we can deal with the different types of application, how to create and manage database, and at the end how to deploy our application. Okay, so this is our schedule for 5 days. And yeah, what do you get from this 5 days bootcamp? Okay, so basically you will getting a certification, as already it is mentioned in the registration before. Also I will be sharing the tips and tricks for the Android development within our 5 days of period. Like now suppose I learn Android development from scratch, or you can say it is self-taught Android development. So basically I learned Android development myself, like doing different projects, trying different things in the studio, that how it works and what it does, like so on. So while developing and while learning these things, I have got to know the different basic tips and tricks, so I will be sharing with you. Also, the actual core development guide for the Android is provided. Easy learning. So basically, Android is a very easy to learn and very easy to implement. So that's why easy learning for you. So at the end of the day, for you will be able to create your own application. That can be any type of application you can create. Okay. So code of workshop. So within the period of 5 days bootcamp, I will be sharing the codes on the GitHub and providing the link with you. So now today there will be, I think at the end of session, or I will give you the code link from tomorrow, as we are not doing code today, so we are going to create codes from tomorrow, and we are actually developing applications or different components from tomorrow. So you can also get the code from it for your learning purpose or for your practice purpose. Yes, and at the end of it, chance of internship. So if there are chances of internship, you will be notified also within the 5 days bootcamp. And yeah, if you are good, and if your skills, or if you developed your application within bootcamp very good, if we like your application, then you have a chance to get an internship also for Android itself. Yeah, I think that's it for uh, like PPT. Now we will go actually to how to set up, like our day one schedule, how to set up and install Android Studio. So first, let me know, do you have any queries or any issues regarding till now? Just let me know in chat box. No, sir. Okay. Okay. So basically, we are going to use Java. Okay. We will be using Java within our period. Kotlin is good, no problem. But why Java? Because if now suppose you choose Java, you are able to use the language in different technologies also. Okay. So if you go for Kotlin, it is good. Like it is better than, like not better than Java, but we can say it is easy to develop in Kotlin. But actually, the backend part or the compilation part is same like Java, as Kotlin also uses the JVM in the background. Yeah, I think for this question, there are few undefined components, as I already said, I will be sharing the tips and tricks. So when I started the Android development, I also don't have the knowledge of Java. Okay, so while developing our application or while developing our bootcamp, I will be giving you the basic things needed to build your application, right? So yeah, also Java will be taught. It like not whole part of Java, the required parts in our Android Studio supports the different kinds of pre-built queries and all these things. So not much type of knowledge of Java is needed. You can easily adapt it. Okay. Okay, great. I think no issues. Then we will start. So I hope you all are joined from your laptops. If you joined from your mobile devices, please turn on your laptop. If you want to continue with continue with me, or else you can just listen and then try on. Okay. So firstly, you need to go to Google and just type Android Studio. Okay. So from here, you will be downloading the Android Studio. Android Studio is nothing but it is a complete like what you can say. It is a complete development environment where we build our own application, right? So this is the one thing. So it is one of the most important things in our bootcamp. So I will be sharing the links also with you. Okay, so this is for Android Studio. Now another part is you need to install. Okay, so from here you can download. But before downloading the Java, just check your 32 and 64-bit versions as it might differ for you. इसको चलाने में लैपटॉप हैंग करेगा लगता है. Okay, I will tell you the basic requirement. It is stated or the best requirement I will also sharing with you. Where it is, let's check. I think minimum 2 GB RAM is required. Okay, the size might be high for you. So if you have Wi-Fi in your home, you can easily download right now. But if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can go with your college Wi-Fi or friends Wi-Fi also. Because it is like you can see 1.1 GB, 991.4 MBs. Okay, so that's why. So this is the exe file and these are other files, zip file and etc. Okay, so these are the system requirements as you can see. 64-bit Microsoft Windows 8 or 10. 7 will be also supported, but you need to install your old Android Studio version, right? So currently, okay, just okay, it will download the latest version by default. You can download the previous version. Just let me check. Okay, here you can see these are the different version. For Windows 7, you can download the Bumblebee or Arctic Fox. Okay, so basically here you can see 64-bit Microsoft 64-bit operating system is required. If you have 32-bit GPU, sorry CPU, then you need second gen Intel Core processor or newer or AMD CPU. Okay, so 8 GB or more RAM. So this is for currently newer version of Android Studio. If you go with the older version, it will say 4 GB minimum RAM. Why it is required 8 GB? Because the whole part development is not depending on the processor. It totally depends on your storage and RAM. So that's why 8 GB of RAM. But I would suggest if you have higher RAM, then install the latest version, as it supports multiple different features. Okay, 8 GB of space available. So here Android emulator and Android SDK is another things. So for that you need minimum 8 GB of space in your discusses. I will be talking about these if your memory depends on we will be trying to use it or not. Okay, and screen resolution is 1280 by 800. So these are the requirements. Okay, got it. कॉस्टली लैपटॉप चाहिए नहीं कोई मतलब ऐसी कोई चीज़ नहीं है। मैंने स्टार्ट किया था तो मेरे पास 4 GB का लैपटॉप था, तब पुराने एंड्रॉयड वर्जन थे, ठीक है। मैंने इम्यूलेटर तक यूज़ नहीं किया था उस वक्त, क्योंकि मेरे को बहुत प्रॉब्लम आए थे, ठीक है। आई विल इलेक्ट्रिकल वर्जन, शुड आई स्विच टू वर्जन यू आर यूजिंग? No, not needed. Just use whatever you have, because sometimes the Android Studio site will provide you the version depending on your system. Okay, so now currently my system is good, that's why it's recommending me for the latest version, right? So if your version is old, then no worries, you can continue as the components are same, the UI is same, but there are different changes. Yeah, there are few changes. Okay, screen will be same, overall structure of Android Studio will be same, but like some part or some extra things will be changed, or the UI part is changed in the studio. Okay, yeah, this is the for Android Studio. For downloading Java, you can download the Java from over here, and then select your 32 or 64-bit. If you have 32-bit, it might cause you problems, because newer versions of Android Studio does not support 32-bit. But nowadays everyone has the minimum Windows 10 with 64-bit, right? And 8 GB of RAM. Okay, so there is no issue. If you have olden version of laptop, then it might be difficult for you, right? Okay. After installing these two things, firstly install Java and then install Android Studio. Uh, After downloading Java, you need to do one thing. Okay, you need to go to OS, uh, like program files, then sorry, program files, and then Java, and then here JDK bin. Okay, so you need to go to this path. So while installing Java, you will be notified where it is stored or where it is downloading Java. So currently it is my OSC program files, Java, JDK, and then I just go into bin. So currently my Java JDK version is 18. If you have a different version, no worries, no issues. There are slightly a few changes or few differences, but anything will be fine, so no worries for that. So where you installed on the drive, like C, D or E, anything in your computer, then go to program files, then Java, then JDK, and then bin. Just copy this path, then type window R, and or you can just go like simply go to setting, and here you can search edit environment variable. Okay, so here you will get this type of window. What you did, what just we did, we just pressed settings, then we go to edit environment. Okay, so there it is. Yeah, here. Okay, so in edit environment, just go on the path or in the system variable. You can see there are different paths. I have already. So click on path. Uh, okay, path and edit. So as you can see here, different paths are already available. So create new, paste it over here, and say okay. So you can see the path will be added before these things. So there are different paths. Please do not change this path on your screen, on your computer. It might cause any problem. Okay, so this is path by default set. Yeah, so it might help for you. If you got any issues regarding Java, you can check any type of YouTube tutorials, so you can get fixed. So this is the basic idea where you can add your path. I think you are able. I already added in the system variable also, so that's why it's not showing to me. You can also add it to the system variable, so it will use the specified path while developing Java type of application. Okay, so I close this. Then now let's open our Android Studio. Okay, what did you see? Program files 86 Java JRE. In my case, no JDK file is there. Only these files are there. Yeah, the recordings of the session will be provided. Also, it might be like what you say, published on YouTube maybe, or the recordings. I will be asked the team for the recordings. Okay, so you need to go to C program files, not 86. Okay, just go back and then C program files and then Java. You might find the JDK. So if you don't have JDK, you need to reinstall the Java. Sometimes it cause the problem, right? Okay, we will open Android Studio first. So this is my version. As you can see, my version is also low. You can see Chimpak is my version. Don't get me wrong, if I pronounce the wrong name, it might happen here. Okay, so this is my current project. Let me close it. As okay, so these are some of my projects I am currently working and I already worked. So it is the list of project you can see here. So after a successful installation, you will see this kind of dashboard. Okay, you will see this kind of a dashboard. So in dash dashboard, you can search your project, create new project, open project, get from VCS. So what is this? VCS is nothing but version control. So now suppose you want to get any project from the GitHub, you can just provide the GitHub repo link and go with your clone project, right? So here you can customize the different things of the theme of the Android Studio. As we are computer engineers, we always use Darkula in any type of code editor. Okay, so these are plugins. We need not do anything about it. And these are some of the helpful links. Okay, so go on projects, create new project. Okay, so here, as you can see, you can create different types of Android application. Like for phone or tablet, you can create for Wear OS, that is the Samsung watch, as you can see, or Android watch available in the market. So for Android TV and automotive. So as you can see nowadays in our car, there are touchscreen display and touchscreen panels are available. So for that you can create Android application also. So but now currently we are only going for phone. So as you can see, what are these different things over here? Okay, so here you can see these are the basic templates provided to start with our application, right? So here is the basic template, basic activity. So it is with another material. So it is compose activity with another material. It is bottom navigation, it is empty activity, full screen, Google Ad Mobs, Gmap, GPay, login screen, etc, etc, these kind of things. Okay, so basically the different GUI part or different things needed in Android application. Now suppose in your application you need initially a bottom navigation. So rather than creating no activity or empty activity, you can go with bottom navigation, right? So that's why it is going to a pre-built template, you can say easily, in easy words. A pre-built templates are available on this. Okay, but for now we are going to start with empty activity. So if you don't have any plant while starting your application, you can just go with empty activity, and then step by step, you can add different components to our application. So what do you mean by the activity? Here is the first question, right? So activity is nothing but a simple screen displayed on your application or on your smartphone. Okay, so it can have different screens, different pages. Like if you know about the HTML thing, so in HTML we say different pages like login page, register page, home page. So here we call them as activity. Okay, so activity have though two parts. First is the design part and second is the component part, right? Okay, so we will be seeing that in our tomorrow's bootcamp or tomorrow's webinar. So currently we are going with the empty activity. Okay, so here are few details. As you can see, the name of your application, first priority, right? So now let's say Android bootcamp. Great. I will just remove the space. Okay, then there is another thing called package name. So what it is? So as you might have idea, or like now suppose in Java, you need to provide the different packages. Now suppose you created a file. To locate that particular file, we need to store some path, right? Or we need to store something so that we can go to particular activity. Now suppose I have different activities like home page, login screen, and register. Okay, so in login activity, I want to call the home screen activity after successful login. Okay, but how I can identify the particular file and where it is stored? So with the help of this path, we can identify these things. But actually, in development, this path is hidden. Okay, so this path is stored in some variable. So that variable, with the help of that variable and specified given ID, we can access this file, right? So basically, for now, just uh, save in your mind that package name is nothing but a specified path for our project, or in or to access the different files in our project it is used. Okay, so we will be giving, like, it is simple com.example dot app name, or com.company dot package name or app name. So currently my package is com.project.android bootcamp. So initially you will get com.example.example, but while developing the client based application, or if you freelancing project, don't use com.example.example, as it might cause problem while the deployment. Play Store does not accept the com.example.example package projects because it is already their part, or it is already their package. So it can't they can't accept our package, right? So that's why create your own. It is a good practice in each time you change this thing. Okay, so now suppose what we can say, let's our company name, CodeClause dot. So what is our project? Sorry, bootcamp. Okay, com dot CodeClause dot bootcamp project, right? So you can name yourself also, like com your surname, then your name, or com dot your like now suppose com dot Ajinkya Bahirat dot your application name. Anything you want to add, you can just, but first thing, com is mandatory as it will go to specified path, right? Okay, then another field is save location. So this is the by default location. It will created in C users, your username, then Android Studio project, and then name of project you provided over here. If you change it, it will also change it over. So what it does, it will create a folder naming Android Bootcamp in the particular location. C users, Ajinkya Barat, Android Studio projects, right? So this folder will be dedicated for our project. So here you can select the language Java and Kotlin. So we will be selecting Java. Then here minimum SDK is set by default to 26, that is Android 8.0. So as you can see, it says your app will run approximately 90.7% of devices. If you select the older version, like now suppose I will select Marshmallow, it says 97.2. If I select the older versions, 99. If I select the first older version, then it says 100%. But there is a disadvantage for setting your minimum SDK, as different components newly embedded in Android Studio requires the minimum SDK version or API level 26. Okay, so minimum Android version 8.0 is required in your device to run our application. If your device version is one, like 7.1 or 7 or 6.1 like KitKat and those things, then our application will not run on these devices. And from 8.0 to the latest version, it will run. Okay, so why 8.0 is mandatory? So as some components did not support the older versions of Android because the new functionalities are introduced. As you can see, like now consider in Android 4.1, there is no security policies added to particular application permissions. But now you can see when you install any application, you are requested to visit or requested to approve the different permissions like camera, contact, your storage. So these are security issues and the other things. But these permissions are also changing day by day. You can see in previously there are two options, allow or decline. But now in current version, allow only while using app, decline, allow always. So like these are the different things you need to take care of. As you might know, or I just want to let you know that there can be different updates day by day in the studio. So you need to develop yourself or update yourself day by day. Like there is no need to update the studio, the environment day by day. But just I'm saying, because now suppose if you are still working on older versions of Android, but in some cases you need to work on the latest technology or latest project, but it not supported by older version, right? So it will get conflicted, or you have to face some issues, right? So in that case you need to update yourself and update your skills and update your technologies as well. Okay, so after this filling of this, you need to just create like click on finish. Okay, it will take some time. You can see over here it will take some time. For first time it takes time, a few minutes. So if your machine is good, then it will be like 2 to 3 minutes, and if your machine is kind of low end or kind of slow, then it will take more time. But but be patient, depending on your device, this process will complete. Just do not do anything before this process complete, as it might conflict any errors. Okay, yeah, as you can see the process is going to be complete. Yep, the process is completed. You can see the overall dashboard of your studio itself. Okay, so now let me know, do you have any question regarding the development or creation of your first application? Like a basic, how you can get started, or how we can start our Android Studio or create project. If you have any query, please ask, or else we can go further. I think there is no issue maybe. If you do, great. You can continue. Okay, great. Thank you for responding, guys. Okay. Yeah. So this is your studio, which will be working. So day by day. So currently, if you are new, then you might got confused. What are these things? What is the right side? What is on the upper side? What is on the bottom? Okay. So don't get confused. We will see one by one each and everything. Okay. So don't worry. So initially you think it is a complicated thing, but day by day you will love. You would just fall in love with the Android Studio, right? Okay. So currently this is our main window. So this is like you can see these two files, and just we need just close these files. Okay. So as you can see, this is our coding window. These options are displayed because we close our files. So currently you did not need to know about this. We will be continue with the each and every part one by one. Okay, great. So here it is a directory of your project. Here it is a code editor of your project. In the bottom side you get options like version control, to-do list, problems, terminals, build, logcat profile, app inspection. Okay, so what are these we will see later. So on the left side, you will see the project, resource manager, structure, favorites, and build variants. So these three things are not required for us, just go for project only. So on the left panel, we just need project thing, right? If we close it, the panel will be closed. If we just click on it, the panel will be open. So if your panel is gone, you can just click on the project and the panel will be open. Okay, so on the right side you can see there is a Gradle, device manager, emulator, device explorer. So these are the important thing. Gradle is the another thing, device manager is another thing, and emulator to test our application within the Android Studio itself. Okay, so a new smartphone or virtual smartphone will be created on your device. It will help you to check your application by developing the app side by side. Okay, or else you can just test your applications on your original device also, right? Or your smartphone just by connecting USB cable. We will be seeing that later. Okay, so this is the right side. So what is Gradle? Gradle is most important as we are developing our applications in the, or we can say the applications backend part is in Java. The Gradle scripts are important as it states the different files. So in the Gradle, let's see the Gradle first. Okay, before Gradle, what are these, right? So here is the file menu: edit, view, navigate, code, refactor, build, run, tools, VCS, window, help. So as you can see, the important like file, you can see create new file. Different types of pre-built templates are available here. Then open any project, profile or debug APK. If you create your APK, you can debug or profile it from here. Open recent projects, close project, add modules, settings. These settings are related to your project and as well as the studio itself. Project structure, file properties, and these are extra things. You need not to worry. You can just go on one by one and check what it does, but these are not mandatory. Okay, for edit, these are like undo, redo operations are provided. View, these are different tools available on the your studio itself. So for that, if you want, if you're like now suppose your project directory is disabled, you can enable it from here, tool window, right? So navigate is nothing but like different files navigation within our project or different directories. Code, you can insert the code, inspect the code, move the code, or clean up, etc. Refactor. So now here is a new thing for you: refactor. Okay, refactor means changing or updating something. So if you want to change the name of your file in other directories or other file, you can just right click and just say update or change name. Okay, but in Android Studio you need to go for refactor and then you will have some options. You can change the name and another thing. Okay, so here is a new word for you: refactor. Build. So after the completion of your project, or if you want to send your APK to a specified person to test your app, you can create and run your APKs from here. You can build your final version of application to be uploaded on Play Store for deployment from here also. For run, we can run app, debug app, profile app, and these are some other options. So VCS, I already told you, VCS is nothing but version control. So you can connect your project to GitHub, so that now suppose if you are working on a group, so you can store your project on GitHub and everybody can contribute for your project. It's a whole another thing, the project contribution and the open source project. If we get chance in few our, like in our last day or last tutorial, I will be also sharing what and how we can set up the GitHub part, right? Then windows, the different windows, and help, you can go for the help. Yeah, and these are the some of the most used thing by you in your application. So here is the build, here is the model version app. So what is app? App is nothing but your directory or your start of your project. So it is a kind of module. If you have any idea about machine learning, so in machine learning we say we developed a model, we developed a module, we implemented our module or created our like, algorithm. So in that way, here app is our module, which will tell our whole application a pack. Like it is like what say uh, like we store multiple images in a zip file. So like that our application is after different files are stored in a app module or like this. Okay, so here another thing is emulator part. So emulator is nothing but the simulation, or you can say the virtual device created on your laptop itself to test your Android application. So how you can create, we are going to see in few minutes. So these are two of my emulators I already created. We will create a new one so you will get better idea, right? So here is the run application. So when we click on the run app, it will automatically run our emulator if we connect it. As you can see, it shows if you connect it to your device, you can see your device name over here. But before that, you need to do some settings in your device also. Okay, and for emulator, you can just create, and after that you can select which one to be executed and just hit on play. It will display your phone and your application. Then there is a debug option. Then these are some other options. This is the sync project to Gradle. This is the emulator or device manager object, and this is the SDK manager. So these three things are main. So while now suppose you want to add your third party material or third party. Now suppose uh, like in HTML, how we use Bootstrap for our GUI part. So in Android, there are also pre-built libraries or third-party libraries which we can use to create a different types of GUI or anything apart from Android Studio. We are going to use in our project that is need to be implemented or accessed from the outside source. So for that, we need to maintain our Gradle file. So for that Gradle file, we need to sync our project. So in the creation of project, I told you the Android 8.0 version. So the error of version will be displayed while you sync your project, right? We will be trying some things. So another thing is device manager and then SDK manager. So device manager is nothing but your device creation. Okay, so when we click on device manager, it will open the window. So it will show the different emulators you created previously. So currently I created two emulators. So it shows one of my emulator taken 11 GB, one of my emulator taken 9.4 GB, and the API level for them is 30. Okay, so what we will do, we will create a new one. Okay, so currently consider if your RAM is higher than 8 GB or minimum 8 GB, you can go with emulator. In 8 GB, it also might lag for you, but I would recommend for 16 on the upper. So currently my RAM is 16 GB, so that's why I can easily use and easily able to access these things because I have a higher RAM, right? Okay, if you have 8 GB RAM, no issues for that. It will take your some space, but storage, you need a high storage because as you can see 11 GB of my storage is occupied by this kind of emulator. So to create your new emulator, just click on create device. Okay, so this type of window will be open. So here you can see different types of devices, emulators you can create. So currently it is on phone. You can see the different layouts already available. Okay, you can select any one. We will go for like mm, just go for Pixel XL. It is a 5.5 device. Okay, so or else we can go with Pixel 4. So what is this thing? So this thing indicates the particular image or particular device is pre-installed with Google Apps or Play Store support. Okay, so these are few like what you can say, these are few your virtual OS or virtual models of your simulator or emulator, they already installed with Play Store. The others are not. So we will go with Play Store one because we are going to introduce or we are going to use the deployment feature in the end, or it cause some issue while developing applications. Well, like suppose we if you want to develop a application which has the map part like Google Maps we are integrating, so for that you need to install the Google Maps on your device. You can do it later, but it might cause issue. But just go for it. Anything, just select anyone. We will just go for Pixel 4. The next, so as you can see here, you see the different API level and different ABI level also, and the targeted Android version. So basically target is means the Android version which we are using, and here are the release names like R, S, Q, Pi, Oreo, etc. So currently I downloaded the R part. So if you want to use the latest API level 33, just click on download. It will start downloading these things. Like as you can say, okay. So in this way it will start. Just let this thing complete. Like as you can see, the size is bigger. Okay, so now suppose if you're starting with Android, initially you need a larger amount of internet for downloading and installation part, right? So that's why I just canceling this right now because it will take some time for my internet. Just we will go with R, then we will click on next. So it will be ask for our name, like I say Ajinkya full, right? You can name yourself or anything, just one. The startup orientation will be ported by default, graphics will be automatic, and enable device frame. Okay, what is in advance? There are other things like cold boot or quick boot you needed, RAM, virtual RAM for your phone, SD card, and etc. These all things are created virtually, but it will be stored on your actual laptop storage, right? Okay, so just click on finish. As you can see, our emulator is created and it generally states 513 MB. Great. So just run our emulator now. We will see what it does. Okay, so currently I'm closing the device manager. As you can see, the emulator window is opened automatically. You can see the starting emulator. It says connecting. As you can see, the different emulator like power on off. These features are also. So if you are developing any kind of application, you can test it on your emulator. Yeah. So this is our phone or emulator, you can say. It will take few minutes in the first time. We will just go with SDK manager. So this is the emulator part. Okay, yeah, great. It just started. Okay, as you can see, this is my emulator. I can easily interact with it. It is also connected to my laptop's Wi-Fi by default. So you can test a net-based application also. So yeah, this is the emulator part. Okay, just we will hide the emulator for now and we will check what is SDK manager. So as you previously see, SDK manager is nothing but the versions in which we are testing our application or which will be the application or installing currently. So now suppose your device has Android 9.0. So make sure just click on it and apply. So it will download the Android 9.0. So currently I'm not doing because it is like now my Android version is 11, I think. So that's why it says partially installed. If it is partially installed, it will also work. If it is not installed, you can just click on it. You can download all type of SDK, but it will cause a storage issue for you, and you need not to install all part. Okay, so basically just go with your. So now look, if you are going with the emulator, you can just simply download the emulator OS from there. If you are going with your actual device, you need to download the particular SDK. SDK means software development toolkit. Okay, So for developing a software, you need their require or you need to meet their requirement. So that's why you need to download the version of your phone to execute your applications on the device itself. Okay, so this is nothing but SDK or SDK manager. So we will close it. Now we will be talking about Gradle script. So as you can see, this is the structure. Here you can see the project structure, but generally we will focus on Android structure. Okay, so basically Android. So main folder is Android. Then there is a folder called app. Inside app, there are three files: manifest, Java, resource. Okay, inside manifest, there is one file, Android manifest. Android manifest, it is a file which contains the data like your app name, app style, app icon, and other things. Like here you can see the targeted API, the theme of my application, the application label, application icon, round icon, etc. And after that, these are the different activities which will be creating are automatically added to our manifest file. So as I previously told, we need to store our files at one place, right? So that's why the manifest file is there. Manifesting, it means combining things, right? So that's why Android manifest. Okay, so also if in future while developing application we can add our permission over here. Okay, so these are the some. As you can see, this language is a XML language. Okay, so it is a tag based application. If you are familiar with simple HTML, you can easily get to know about this language. But we need not to change anything in this file. It will just automatically add. But if we go advanced or if we go further, then we need to change some things in that particular file. Okay, we will close it, then go to our next folder, Java. Okay, so here you can see our package name, com.codeclause.bootcamp project. So here first thing, it's created by ourselves, and these two things, as you can say in light green shade, these are created by Android Studio itself, and it is managed by Android Studio itself. So while developing our application, we're just working on this part, or this part which we created. Okay, so Java, under our package, it contains the backend file, right? It contains the Java code. So main activity is a Java file. So this Java file or the actual code, how and what our application is going to do, it is written in Java. So our Java file will be listed over here. And another folder is resource folder, right? So in resource folder, there are 4 to 5 different subfolders. So firstly, it is drawable. So what is drawable? Drawable contains all types of images, audio, video, icon, or any type of media you are using in your Android application is stored in drawable folder, right? So like you can see the icon is stored by default, this icon background, and this is foreground icon, as you can see. So it is by defaultly created. So I just want to let you know what we can store in these files. You can just store your images from your computer in the drawable folder also. So all type of media you are using in your Android application are stored in drawable folder. Then there is layout file. Okay, so here as you can see, layout file is the main file responsible for our graphical user interface, or you can say user interface. Okay, so this file is responsible for how our application is going to look for particular user. It is done in this file. Okay, so it has three modes: design, split, and code. For split, you can see the preview while developing, and code, you can just simply code. So I will go for split. And also if you don't want to code, you can just go with drag and drop functionalities also. So Android Studio also supports the drag and drop. You can drag simple objects in the field, and you can just change the properties from here, or you can go with this kind of thing, right? So from tomorrow we are going to look into this. Currently we will close this file. Okay, then there is a map map. So our main launcher file. Now suppose each and every device resolution is different, right? So for that we need to maintain the different resolution files. So it has by defaultly created these files. So in some cases you need to do these things, but not every time. In like in minor times or in minor cases you need to work on mip map. So another thing is values. So inside values there are two files, or you can say three files: colors, strings, and the third one is theme. So here you can see the dark theme and light theme are also introduced. Previously it is only light theme. So theme is nothing but the different types of color and material used in your project. Strings are nothing but the different strings or simple variables stored in your application. So what is the benefit of it? I will be sharing one of the trick for it. And colors are nothing but the different colors used in your Android application. You can just simply add this anything color you want. Just you can give it a name, and you can just add the hash code. Or if you don't know hash code, just go for FFFF. Just click on over here. As you can see, I added my red color to my application. It will automatically generate the code for it, and it will be. So while developing our application, when I type red in the context of color, it will provide me this color. Okay, so this is color file. And string file, it stores the different names or different parameters from your application over here. So why we need to maintain the string file? Here is the another thing. And yeah, colors are the different colors used in our application. Okay, for these, then there is these are backup and extractions rules. We need not to worry about this. This is the backup or data extraction regarding things. We need not to look for it. Okay, so then there is another folder that is Gradle scripts. Okay, so there are different Gradle scripts. Oh, sorry. Okay, so there are different files available in the inside Gradle. So out of which we are only having build.gradle and build.gradle project and build.gradle module. So module is responsible for handling our applications data. So like I said previously, if we want to add a third party URL or third party material, we can just write over here. These are the some minimum SDK required for our application. As we previously, while creating our application, we set 8, that's why it is 26. Then targeted version will be 32, version code and version name. These are the things required while deploying our application, right? So now suppose if you firstly deployed your application, so while developing the new feature or new version, you can just name it another. So we will be seeing these things later. So this is our basic plugin com.android.application. As you can see, com.android.application will provide the basic Android application packages for our newer or of which we creating. Okay, and the another thing is build.gradle project. So it is responsible for our project. So in some cases, only few times you have to make changes in this code, but generally just we just go for build.gradle module file. Okay, and the other files are not required. You just need not to look on it. Suppose if you want to check, you can just see what it does. You can also see the different comments, what this file and why it is required. So now you can see the local property, it stores the path of my SDK and these all things. Settings will store the different settings for my application, the project names, Gradle property, plugin, Maven Central, etc. These kind of things. Okay, so you need not to worry of this. Just consider these two files, mainly focus on build.gradle module. And this is nothing but the directory structure of Android. So what we done today, we seen the overall structure of Android Studio. We see the how to create the emulator, how to set up our emulator, as well as we seen different files. So let me show you the main files. Okay, this is the GUI file, like UI part file. and this is the backend file where we are going to use these components. So it will be on our third day. On our second day, we will be just developing the different GUI part or different component. On the third day, we are going to access these components in this file. Okay, so this is the basic structure of Android Studio. So now suppose if we run our current application, what it will show? As you can see, there is a hello world written on the screen. So it will definitely show hello world on our emulator. Okay, so I just click on the play button. So as you can see, the Cradle will run. Just let the process complete. Be patient, as you might be need to be patient while developing Android apps. Okay, so here is our first error. Uh, okay, dependency is currently compiled against 32 was maximum 100 Android kernel. Okay, so basically this error is because I created the emulator with lower version, and I'm created the project with the newer version. So that's why it's showing the error. Okay, so we will discuss these things in the next part, because on the first day I don't want to make you or make your session complicated. We can solve this right now, but I think it is not necessary currently. Just if you are doing on your laptop, or if you have your laptops with, just go for downloadation of Android Studio, setup of Java, create your emulator if you have, and just look on the different things available on the studio itself. Okay, so initially I think this is our first session, and that's it for today's our first session. We will be seeing some questions. Okay, so if you have any questions, just type on your in the Q&A section. I will be receiving you. Or if you have any doubt regarding our today's session, you can ask. Okay. So actually my Android Studio installation is going on. That's why I'm not able to do the things with you. Okay, no worries. Just for that's why I'm stopping today for with the basic setup. Just complete your basic setup today, and we will start developing our basic part or basic component from tomorrow. So actually my Android Studio going okay, same. So do we get the recordings of the entire session? Yes, we will. So actually, I don't have any idea. Like, I think YouTube recordings will be provided with you, as we are recording our meeting also. So you will get the YouTube links in today's like within few days after we successfully retrieve the recording. So the team will manage those things, I think. Okay, so apart from this, do you have any question regarding what we see in our current lecture or current webinar? So it is possible to include Python files in our app. It's kind of a totally another thing. Like just let me know, you are trying to say that you want to develop Android app using Python, or you just want to add a particular model to our application. Just let me know. Like I want to add some. Okay, great. You can. Yes, you can, obviously. So now suppose for that you need to do some things. Like suppose you have a module, or like what say, mm, Python based algorithm. So you can create its web view with the help of Django, and in the Android Studio you can just simply go with web view. Or also you can go for the direct inclusion of Python in Android Studio. Like just go on YouTube and search for how we can add Python code or Python module in Android Studio. You will get the idea. Or else just initially it is not our thing, that's why I'm not talking about it. But if you have a serious issue or regarding your project, you can connect on me, like on Instagram or LinkedIn. I will be sharing the resources for you also. In the session, it is not necessary because some of the students are do not have any knowledge of Android Studio, so they will get complex things for that. Okay, how web applications are made. Web applications are made, it depends on the technology different. So Android application, with the help of Android Studio, we just create Android application, but we can implement the websites or web part in our Android app also. It is one of the component, we will be seeing it tomorrow. Okay, I installed Android Studio, but it is very slow to run and take much time to show the folders like XML or Gradle or any other ones. What should I do? Make it more faster. Uh, okay, initially, can you send your or can you tell me what is your configuration of system or laptop? Sir, I can't set up. Sir, I set up. Can I go out of class because my stomach is hurting? Okay, you can, as it is over now. If you have any question, you can ask. We will provide you Android Studio installation video. Yes, they are. Sir, how many days we will be trading on Android development? Okay, 5 days. Like it is a 5 days bootcamp, so that's why 5 days we will be getting our okay Core i5 8 GB RAM. I think it might work smoothly. So okay, initially while creating your first project, it will take a lot time. Okay, it will take a lot time because you just initialized all these things. Okay, so after using it day by day, it will be smoother. No worries for that. If you have still problem, then just close your background application or background running application. It might help for you. And if you still have problem, we will discuss in tomorrow. Like just go with your basic part. If you have any issue, just ask me in tomorrow's session. Okay, what will be time for a session? Like from upward 7. As you have your colleges and I have my work, that's why we are doing these sessions from 7 p.m. Which language? Yep. For today, because it is the introductory part, so that's why it is 1 hour. So from tomorrow, it might vary from 1 point like 1 hour and 30 minutes or 2 hours. As we are going to cover the whole Android Studio within 5 days, so it will take some time. And it is also less than different tutorials available on YouTube. And if you go on YouTube, you can see the 13-15 hours tutorial. Which language you use Android Studio? Only Java and Kotlin or something else? Yes, there are only Kotlin and Java supported for Android Studio. I'm not saying for Android development. I'm saying for Android Studio, only Java and Kotlin. You can use Flutter. If you are using Flutter, then there is a language called Dart. If you are using React Native, then there is a language called JavaScript or basic JavaScript. So yeah, for Android Studio, it is only Java and Kotlin. What will be the duration of each lecture? Will it, yes, it will be more than 1 hour because we need to cover more than more components and more different things. Will this session include Firebase linking to Apex? Yes, absolutely. So I think on the day 4, we will be going with database or Firebase. Can you recommend any YouTube channel? Okay. So for basic things, I have my own YouTube videos, like 5 to 6 videos also, or else I will recommend you another thing like mm, I will be sharing links with you in tomorrow. I just need to check because the some of the tutorials are like totally older one, so it might cause you a trouble because older versions are different things and the newer versions have different things. Is there any course certification? Yes, there are different course certification available for Android Studio. Google is also providing the certification, but you need to go for the exam. So you need to pay some amount for the exam certification. Or you can go on Coursera, you can go for any type of certification also. Uh, yes. According to you, which one is better, Android Studio or Flutter? If you ask me, like in the sense of actual core development, I will suggest Android Studio. But now, if you want to create a modern technology and work on the modern field, and if you want your career to be built on Flutter, like Flutter is a cross-platform application development, so you can create web development, a web app, Android app, and iOS app. But sometimes initially you need to learn the few basic things. Like now, if you have a better knowledge of Android Studio or few knowledge of Android Studio, you can go for Flutter also. So according to me, Android Studio is better because we can create our own Android applications. So now, if we choose Flutter, why we choosing Flutter? Because cross platform, right? Like for iOS development. But if you have your Windows machine, then how you are going to run your applications? You don't have any if you have your iOS device with you or iPhone with you, then no worries. But if you just have your Windows laptop, there is the issue, right? So that's why I would recommend and from my perspective, Android Studio is the better because I already worked in Android Studio for many years for now, and it helped me for building my freelancing projects also. And yeah, it just have a better choice. Like my I have different clients, for them I have just implemented different application, and these are available on Play Store. Some of them are for private organizations. Yeah, and it helped me to get my own pocket money, right? Which one we used for workshop, older or new? So currently we are middle. Like we are not using older version, we are not using the newer version, we are in just middle. Not in too much middle. We will be using like you can say the 1 or zero point 0.5 less version. So for development it is not required, the functionalities matter. Okay, so now as I told you, in Android development or Android Studio older version, the structure is different, but now the structure is different for current version. So actually I am asking course certification for this. Course certification for this course. Yes, you will be getting certification after completing this course. The certificate from the company itself you will be getting. So don't worry for certification. Android Studio download. Yes, I already provided it in the chat box itself. I will be sharing it with you. Okay, sorry. Just a minute. Okay, so here it is, Android Studio. At the beginner level, what platform do you suggest for the designing UI of app? Designing UI application, generally we use Figma, but you can use anything. You can use your handwritten notebook also, or you can use your like Paint also. There is no modern things required for these things. If you have what you want to do in your mind, you can just go for it, right? So now suppose you have an idea, I want to build and this application, just go for it, don't look. While developing these things you will get, like now I learned basically, I have took some of my freelancing projects and then started what it does. Like now suppose one of my project are based on map integration, but I previously I did not implemented any type of map implementation. But while creating those application or while creating those freelance project, I learned how to integrate those things, right? So that's why just go with the flow, in simple words. And I would suggest, if you are actually going for UI UX development, you can use Figma. Figma is the best solution currently. Or you can just made your designs on your notebook itself and make the XML file directly on Android Studio. Sir, which is the best community to discuss the issues during development project? uh, Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow and GitHub repo. These are the one of the most things helped me, and it will also help you while developing the application. So if you have any issue, just copy the error, paste it on Google. It will show you Stack Overflow. Firstly, it will show the Stack Overflow, and just go follow the instruction. You will be solving the error. Okay. So within the bootcamp, I will be sharing how you can remove all types of error. Right. Sir, all interns like Java, web development, etc. webinars same or different? Actually, my doubt, I choose web development, but here webinar is going on Android development. Actually, it might be issue for the registration purpose. As you can see, post in the poster, there is boldly written. It is a webinar for Android development. Okay. So basically, it uh, it is Android development bootcamp. Uh, what is next question? Sir, which type of project you taking during this session? You suggest we will take any type of project, but it should be useful or it should be completed. Or rather, we can do one thing, like in today, in tomorrow, and the day after that, we are using the different components, right? So we will create one form, we will create login page, we will create registration page. Okay, we will creating a home page where we are going to display these details of particular user, right? So initially we will do these things, and at the day 4 we will be connecting Firebase, so you will get idea how Firebase can be used for these things, right? Or apart from that, we will be just having a simple application at the last day, like simple calculator based application, or simple data storing application, or simple cache management application, anything. If you have any idea or conception, like you want to show, or you want me to develop this kind of application which will help all, not particular you, right? It will help all, like basic stuff I want to just share with you, because some of students or some of you are new to the Android development, right? And some of them are intermediate. So I am also intermediate, I cannot say I am perfect. I am also intermediate because I am learning these things. Like if new things occurs in studio, I also have to learn, or also I have to see how and what it does, right? Yeah, these kind of things are yeah. Sir, for slash screen, suggest any good website. You can do a simple animation in your anything. Like I would suggest Canva. Just go on Canva, search for Android splash screen template, and then you are good to go. You can select any type of different animation and store that animation in MP3 or MP4, like sorry, MP4 or WEP format, and just use the different components as you might have idea. Or else we will be seeing that in uh, next webinar. Okay, so next question. Sir, how to start freelancing? Okay, so this is the important question. Basically, to start freelancing, you need to use your contacts, or you need to show your skills, show your projects. I initially got few of projects with my contacts. That's why I just started. But now, if you don't have any contact, first build your portfolio. Okay, so build different kinds of application, introduce new things, or you can go with the real-time project also. It will showcase your talent as well, and upload these things on your GitHub, maintain your LinkedIn profile, and yeah, if like just apply for or different projects if there is a opportunity available on internship, or different websites, you can just go for it. Or the another part is you can go different types of freelancing website are available on the Google. You can just freelancer, like there are different things, freelancer, और अपना ये क्या है उसका नाम, इंटरशाला है। इस पर आप डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट कर सकते हो। पर लेकिन अगर वो कैसा है, वो उस लेवल का फ्रीलांसिंग करने के लिए आपको परफेक्ट होना पड़ेगा, मतलब बेसिक थिंग्स में परफेक्ट होना पड़ेगा। क्योंकि कभी कभी क्या होगा कि दो जो क्लाइंट हो आपको पैसे बहुत देगा, लेकिन उसको काम भी वैसा चाहिए। ओके, सो दैट थिंग मैटर। Okay, so apart from this, do you have any question, or we should end our today's session? Just let me know. Yeah, LinkedIn can also help. LinkedIn is one of the most important things, as you can connect anyone, any person. It's like a social media, but for like what you can say, for technology purpose. So if you have a connection, so sometimes you also get an opportunity for from any HR or from any project helper also. Okay, so from that you can good to go. No sir, it's nice. Yeah, thank you so much. You can also write a review for today's session also. Okay, so now I think there is no question for today itself. Oh, great. Sir, for other domains, we will have webinars. Yes, we have. But I think they are scheduled afterwards. I just don't know the details about that. I will be checking with team and letting you know. I think if team member anything, if you are there, can you just tell me the dates or expected where we are going to start the other things? There will be other guests for the other sessions. But yeah, there will be other seminars for web development. There will be seminar for data science. Will there will be seminar, etc. These kind of things. Wonderful session. Thank you, Surinder, a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Athar. Thank you, Praneet. Thank you, Nishant. Thank you, Prerit. Yes, if you joined, your attendance will be marked. No worries. Thank you, Bhagyashri. Thank you, Reha. Thank you. Uh, Yes, you can leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. Let's meet in tomorrow's session. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Just replying. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you can leave now. We will meet tomorrow. Have a great fun. Have a great night. Good night, everyone. I think we should end, right?